what a lot of people that are complaining about right now don't realize is that if they're going to find him guilty, it's got to be beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes.
And that's the entire case was reasonable doubt because he had these guys chasing him, attacking him, and like the laws and the different ways they were trying to approach it, there was doubt the entire time. So first off was the gun charges, right? The illegal gun charges.
Yeah, minor.
Was what a lot of people want to like. Oh, he took a gun. He illegally took this gun across state lines. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Well, then they found out during the trial that he did not take it across state lines. The weapon was already there.
Yes.
One.
Yes.
That was
Excuse me. I'm still trying to get that shot out of my
Josh
throat.
can't handle his whiskey.
Nope.
No, I went down the wrong pipe earlier.
That's what she said.
But no, so they were saying he illegally took the weapon across state lines. He didn't. It was already there.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're saying he crossed state lines, which it was his mother that actually lives in
His
Kenosha.
dad lives in Kenosha.
His dad lives in Kenosha. His mom doesn't.
Right.
And what people don't realize is they're talking about the state line.
Yeah.
It's not like you're driving across and you're like, oh, you're going through a fence, this gated community. Mm-hmm. He literally drove like 15 minutes.
20, really, exactly.
Yeah, like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me and you, that's like going from Lorain to Elyria.
Yeah.
That's like we cross city lines, but it's this imaginary fucking line that he crossed. But so that's why one of the reasons why the gun charge was tossed out. The second is because in Wisconsin, it's legal for a minor to have a rifle as long as it is of a certain length.
Right.
Yes.
If it's a short barrel, then if it was just a little bit shorter than what he had it, that would have been considered illegal.
Yes.
So the fact that the gun was a long-barreled rifle, it was legal for a minor to carry it, and it didn't cross the state line, so they threw out all those charges.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the curfew. He shouldn't have been out after curfew. Everybody else was out after curfew. Like, you got to realize this was COVID times. Like, this is... And on top of that, there was riots the night before, so there was curfews in place. Like, it was...
Yes.
Everybody was out past curfews.
Yes.
So, the gun charges thrown out. That's out the window. That everybody's complaining. Well, he took a gun across state lines. No, he didn't. That's why it got thrown out. Then the one point that I like to look at is everybody's like, well, he took a gun. He had illegally carrying this gun. Well, the third guy he shot also illegally had a gun.
Yeah.
The third guy he shot was a felon, which you are
Shouldn't have
no
a gun.
longer allowed to carry a firearm if you are a convicted fucking felon.
Exactly.
He had so. I mean, I'm kind of taking over, but you guys.
No.
can
You
step in.
got your facts right. You're good.
So,
I'm rolling with
and
it.
then the
Fact
other
checker.
point is the prosecution was trying to prove provocation, that he provoked these attacks on himself. So then, once you provoke the attacks, it's harder to obtain that right of self-defense back, right? Mm-hmm. So, the reason why they're saying he provoked the attacks is because, one, he was carrying the weapon, which doesn't make any sense because you got to be, in order to provoke something and lose your right to self-defense, you have to be doing something illegal.
Yeah.
So he wasn't illegally carrying a weapon, and even if he was illegally carrying that weapon because he was a minor, the people that attacked him didn't know he was a minor.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that would provoke them to attack him. That law that he was breaking, and even if he was breaking the curfew law, again, that's not a reason to attack him because he was out past curfew. That doesn't make sense. So they needed to prove provocation, which the one point that they said was that he at one point pointed the gun at them, but again, they were attacking him. So even if him pointing the gun at them, that was the first level of provocation, right?
Okay.
So there's multiple tiers to it. So if he provoked it, what he basically has to do is he has to do everything in his power to try to get out of that situation. So in Wisconsin, they are not a stand your ground state. Like, you don't have to you don't have to run away, or they are a stand your ground state. It's weird because there's stand your ground, then there's you must flee, and there's like a little gray area.
Yeah.
Where it's not like stand your ground, but you're not required to do everything you can to run away.
Okay.
But the provocation law, that's when that comes into place, is because if he did point a gun at somebody and they're saying that's what provoked them to attack him, which it wasn't, that dude was attacking him the whole time. But say that's what provoked him. Now Kyle has to try to flee in every means possible to get away from the situation. He has to exhaust every option before firing,
right?
Which is exactly what he did. He ran away from him. The dudes was like in all the different drone footage and different camera angles they showed. This dude was chasing him down the entire time.
Exactly.
So he gets pinned up in like a group of cars, can't go anywhere. The guy's still lunging at him, and then he shoots him.
Exactly.
So he ran, then shot. So
and before you continue, and before that individual actually in another video said that, and then they said this in the during the court session, that if one of the witnesses says, if I see this dude, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Yep.
So he made that
said
statement.
that, and then Kyle said that. But the only thing about that part of the trial was that they never had that on video. They never caught the audio of him saying that.
They never caught the audio, but the witness said that yes, that individual said that.
So he said it, and Kyle said it too. That he told them that if he caught them alone, he was going to kill him.
Yeah.
Which, that's a threat, whatever. But so if at that point now you've proved that Kyle did everything he possibly could before shooting the first guy, right? The first guy lunges at him, even though he pointed his gun at him, like, "Hey, back the fuck off." Still keeps coming at him, then he gets shot. And then on top of that, while Kyle is running away from him, the other idiot, the third guy that he shot, is the one that's firing rounds behind them.
Yes.
So he's shooting before Kyle even shoots.
Correct.
You like who shoots warning shots? I don't think people fucking understand. I personally believe that Gage dude should be a whole bunch of charges on that.
Oh yeah. He should,
because you don't fire warning shots, especially when you're in a big ass crowd like that. Because if you shoot a fucking bullet in the air, it's gotta fucking come down.
Come down.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't go into the atmosphere and fucking disappear. Like shoot a fucking gun in the air, it's gonna come down.
Yeah.
And it could fucking kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like that's reckless. What did they?
Negligence.
Reckless negligence. That you're firing a fucking gun in the air with no fucking idea where it's going to land, and you're in this big crowd of people. So that's one point that he should have had the charge on him. 2 was the fact that he was a felon carrying a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
And then 3, he admitted in court, which even he tried to lie beforehand, before and after. Actually, he tried to lie after court. But basically said, yeah, I pointed my weapon at him, and that's when he shot me.
Yep.
Like, and when the lawyer was asking him, he was like, so what I'm seeing in this video basically is you approach Kyle, he points his weapon at you, you raise your hands, he doesn't shoot you, right? He said, yeah. So then he actually doesn't shoot you until you point your gun at him and advance on him, and the guy goes, no. He was like, okay, well, let's take a look at this picture right here. He showed a picture of Gage pointing his weapon at him, and at the exact same time, his arm is exploding because he's getting shot in the arm.
Yeah.
So that photo proves that you're pointing your pistol at him while your arm is getting shot. And his defense was later on. He went on, I think it was the Strahan's. He got interviewed by Strahan later.
Oh, okay.
And he tried to say, well, what actually happened was that when Kyle shot him in the arm, that it was a reflex and it made his arm bend. Doesn't happen that quickly, jackass. Like, if in the picture there's a still frame of your bicep exploding,
your arm's going to
and your arm is already pointing at, like, that picture is not going to capture your reflex. Like, if your arm is down and it's exploding, and in the very next frame it's bent, okay.
Yeah.
But he's trying to say that he shot him in the arm, and that made his arm retract.
You have no muscle.
You were already pointing your arm, your reflex of your arm isn't faster than a fucking bullet. Like, your arm is exploding, it's already fucking pointed at him. That you're an idiot. He's just trying to win the fucking. He got like $10 million lawsuit on the city. He's trying to win.
So stupid because
He's not gonna win it.
You need
Like,
muscle to move that fucking thing up.
So wouldn't that be?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
so he's saying
there's a
so how the
still
fuck you
image
lift it
of
up?
you fucking pointing your gun at him while
Let
your
me
arms
ask you
getting
this real
blown
quick.
up.
Wouldn't that be attempted murder though? Like if he was like,
Yes.
all right,
Yeah.
so when
he was pointing a loaded weapon.
Yes,
at
he
him.
was.
Yeah, so
So I
that's-
mean, I don't think it's attempted murder because he didn't pull the trigger, but he was. He could have.
I mean,
Could have killed him.
Okay, you could have killed him. So there has to be something like some type of law. There's always like.
I mean,
laws.
it could be reckless endangerment and stuff like that, but I don't think.
And like to intent to harm or something
Yeah,
like that.
it
Like,
can be something like that, but it's not attempted murder until you actually pull that trigger. But so you've got the first guy we explained. Kyle ran away until fucking whatever. So then Kyle runs away because he's just shot somebody and he's got a mob around him, and he's like, "Get that motherfucker!" Right? So he runs away. He's running down the street. He's got this crowd behind him just chasing his ass down. Some guy runs by, hits him. Then the one guy tries to hit him once with the skateboard.
Yeah.
He keeps running. He trips and he falls. Then he's got the dude that comes and drop kicks him.
Yeah, the mysterious
I've
guy.
seen that, yeah.
Which is funny because they actually knew who that guy was.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
entire trial, they said drop kick guy or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
but
yeah.
the prosecution knew who he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just never released his name. But I would guarantee it's because he wasn't a credible witness.
He probably just is like, I don't know what happened.
Well, not just that, but he was probably a shithead too.
Yeah, the dude was in his 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
He was an older
I
dude.
didn't look into anything on him,
Older
but I
dude
did.
fucking kicking some kid in the head. Like, come
But
on,
I
dude.
do know that they knew who he was though, based on the trial.
Oh yeah.
So he kicks him. Kyle shoots at him. That's self-defense right there. You're trying to stomp somebody's fucking head like that. They're like, oh well, these people are unarmed. Like you don't realize like how much damage an unarmed person can actually do to you. Like especially if you're laying on the ground and you start getting stomped and there's a crowd. Like you are in danger.
Yeah.
So there's that guy. Then the guy tries to hit him with a skateboard again. And the prosecution's whole thing was, well, it was just a skateboard. It was just a skateboard. Have you seen what skateboards can do to somebody if you hit them in the head? I saw a video just the other day after the trial that they were like, this is what it does to you if you get hit with a skateboard. Like they showed the video of this guy. He tried to stop like some skateboarders around like his business or whatnot. The dude ends up cracking him in the head with this skateboard. Then they show him in the hospital later and his whole skull is cracked in. He's got this like 4-inch dent in his fucking head. Like, but it's just a skateboard. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
It's a weapon, dude.
yeah, you are swinging a weapon at somebody's head. Like you're in danger. Now you're again defending yourself. So
It's no different than a bat or a golf club. Or,
it's extremely similar to a bat. It might actually be worse than a bat because it's got the metal frames. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Blunt force trauma to the head, man. You're get fucked. You'll get
So
fucked.
I don't think people understand the law, and the fact that people are upset that he won. The thing that I am glad that he won for is because if he didn't, we would have lost so many rights with self-defense.
Yeah, your right to bear arms would be in trouble.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, it's not even your right to bear arms, but your right to self-defense would have been in trouble because the prosecutor specifically, one of his arguments was basically, you brought the gun to this place, you lose your right to self-defense at that point, and that if he would have lost that trial, our right to defend ourselves would go right out the fucking window.
Like you sent me something earlier, the Stephen Colbert, whatever his name
Yeah, the
is.
Stephen Colbert thing.
So you sent me that, and I'm gonna play it right now.
Big news on Friday was that after being accused of crossing state lines, killing 2 people, and wounding another last year during a Black Lives Matter protest, Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted on all counts. Okay. Yeah, okay, cards on the table. I'm not a legal expert, so I can't tell you whether or not Kyle Rittenhouse broke the law. But I can tell you this, if he didn't break the law, we should change the law.
So with that being said, like he going through and saying that we should change the law, what sense does that make? Like, are we ending self-defense? Are we ending the Second Amendment?
That's what he's leading to, and that's what a lot of people are like roasting him about. Like, so we should change the law. So you mean we should take away the right to self-defense? Like
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's why I said in the beginning of this, if Kyle would have lost this case, our rights would have drastically changed in this country.
And I bet if he was in that same situation, And if he was like his life depended on it, and he had to defend his life, would he be saying these comments right now?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And for all the comparisons that people want to make, what if Kyle was black, right? And Kyle would have shot 2 people and killed him, right? Would people be protesting and just as angry that he got acquitted?
No.
There's so many trials that are like that, and I haven't seen anything burnt down.
Yeah, because everybody wants to pay attention to what the media is portraying to you, and that's where people get brainwashed. That's why that's why the only argument you keep hearing, or there's a couple ones, but the main one is, well, Kyle brought a weapon across state lines, and he illegally brought this weapon. You're listening to the media tell you this, but if you actually watch the trial, the judge found that the shit didn't count because in Wisconsin he was completely within the law.
Yeah.
So that, and then they want to listen to, oh, well, he's a white supremacist. What I want to ask is, have you guys heard of the white supremacy symbol that they're saying Kyle was displaying?
Oh God, which one was
I didn't see that.
The OK symbol.
Okay, all right. Yep, pack my bags.
How's that white supremacy?
You didn't hear about this one?
No.
So there was a few years ago on 4chan, there was this, it was like a hoax that they did. They were basically like, let's see if we can basically change OK to mean white power, like the three
points.
Points is the W,
Yeah.
and then this is the P, right?
Okay.
They're
Yeah, I
saying,
see
can
that.
we make the left believe that this is a white power symbol?
Okay.
And fucking trolled them. So they put it on all the social media and shit like that just to fuck with the left. So now people actually believe that the OK symbol means white power.
And like whatever
Wow.
it's put on social media, people run with.
Oh, yeah, they're fucking
I
stupid.
agree. I can see that. Yeah.
So that's one of the bases on why people are like, well, Kyle is a white supremacist. I was talking about it at work today, and one of the guys was like, well, they have pictures of him showing white supremacist like signals, and I was like, no, they don't. He was like, yeah, they do. He was showing this. I was like, that's not white power. Look it up. Google it. If you Google the OK symbol white power, all you will see is this 4chan hoax. And even Geraldo was on some fucking talk show the other day.
Yeah.
He was saying the same thing about Kyle. He was like, well, he's out there showing these white power symbols. And they were like, what are you talking about? He was like, this symbol means what? And they were like, you idiot, Geraldo. You realize that's been proven to be a hoax.
Yeah.
And people just run with it because they believe the shit that the media is fucking telling
But
them.
like for so long. All right. Beverly Hills Cop. Mm-hmm. All right. Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Black guy, right? Mm-hmm. He did in Beverly Hills Cop. He did a symbol like okay. I'm gonna post a picture right now in his movie Beverly Hills Cop. Did they think that it was white power back then? No.
No, and so the one guy that I was talking to at work, he was like, well, when I was a kid, and this guy's he's in his 50s, but he was like, when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure that's what that meant back then too. I was like, I've never heard
I
of that.
never heard. I'm
Never.
fucking 40 years old.
I'm a white guy and I've never fucking heard of it. Come on.
There you go. He's white. I'm 40, so it equals out.